Hello everybody, James Rink here. Welcome to another exciting edition of Super Soldier Talk. It is Friday, May 19th, 2017, and I'm having some issues with my laptop today, so that's why I've repositioned everything. But it shouldn't change the content at all, and we have many exciting guests here today. We've got Adrian Espinoza, who has access to the Skynet files, and we also have Jessica Marrocco, who is a psychic, clairvoyant, and medium and channeler. And her show, I believe she has a talk show on, I think it's Revolution Radio, although she might get...
Wolf Spirit Radio.
Wolf Spirit, okay, yeah, Wolf Spirit Radio. And of course, we have the amazing Peter, the Insider, with us. And,
hello, people.
Hello, Peter. Thank you for joining us. And Peter has some amazing update to give us. Actually, very disturbing, or depending on what point of view you're looking at here. So first of all, Peter. Let me do a little introduction. Peter is let's see. I guess he's director of Division 12 of the ACIO, of the Alien Contact Intelligence Organization, which is responsible for human ET relations on this planet, at least in that division anyway. Is that correct?
Yes, you are right. Yes, you are right.
Okay, so Peter's going to share some information from that perspective. In particular, in past episodes, we've talked about these super soldier queens. Now, Peter, you've mentioned that these queens control super soldiers, like through a hive mind, and they also seem to be a little bit, well, actually quite a bit paranoid and psychotic.
Yes.
So you've recently had an attack by one of these queens. Why don't you share what happened?
Technically, it's not only recent, recent thing. It's it durates for a few months, and everything. Peaked with one very unpleasant event happened 2 weeks ago when one of her killed my wife in front of my eyes, because she was very pissed off at me because I don't wanna fulfill her wishes. So, I mean, I'm not angry at them because technically that's a problem that even she was affected by Crystal Skull, because it's not, for many people it's only legend, and I don't think, I know that it's not a legend about 13 skulls. Why 13? Why not 12 or 14? Because it is like 12 normal, I mean boned skulls, if you want to say it that way, and 13th skull is glass skull, and it is like 12 apostles and Jesus, if you want to call it that way. And this very powerful physical way of controlling is Nazi tool of controlling practically every single one of their servants, because it was made, this 13 skulls was made in cooperation from Tula and Vril, so it's extremely complicated, and I mean it's very bad once you lost someone who is close to you and who you loved, but it's extremely low-minded to be pissed off at another one who technically wasn't in charge uh, at the moment when he or she did that, because he or she was under the influence of another, like, I don't know, matter, or I don't know, power, or some think. You know what I mean? It's not fair to these people to be mad at them, I think.
Peter, well, how are you handling it, the loss of your wife?
As I said, it's, of course I'm sad, but as I thought, it's not fair to be mad at these people, because once you will be under the influence of specific artifacts or matters, or uh, astral, I mean, not non-physical powers, it's, I don't have right to be mad at them, but of course I'm mad at the circumstances uh, in which all this situation happened. This is it.
All right. And has your wife on the other side contacted you?
Yeah, of course, because she's already in fifth dimension.
All right. And as what messages has she given you?
You know that the process is extremely complicated, and she's not so quite sure if we are already so well fitted to make the transformation to 5D, and if we will catch it until 2022. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a bit off. Now I've heard that there's treaties with the. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm gonna go ahead and worry about the consequences later. But there's a treaty with the Galactic Federation. I believe it's a 50-year treaty that they've made with the secret space program that ends in 2019. And the Federation is pissed because the SSP was supposed to release all these suppressed technologies via a proxy SSP to humanity. Instead, they hoarded it for themselves. And now the Federation wants to show themselves in a public way. And do you feel that this is all part of that same timeline, or is this intel even correct?
Yeah, and that's I think that this is the main problem. This is I think that this is the main problem, that SSP, I don't want to say SSP, but people who are in charge of SSP, they are building another way and another levels of control. It is some crazy ass shit, as we know the Matrix right now. New World Order and all kind of crazy stuff. And this will be something very similar, but from another perspective, if you want to call it that way.
All right. So, why doesn't the ACIO, because I know you mentioned this to me when my mother died last June, that the ACIO could bring back people from the dead using femto technology. They can reanimate dead corpses. So what seems to be the issue with your wife?
Technically, she don't wanna get back into 3D from 5D. It's very easy.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that would be a problem.
Yeah.
All right.
To exist in two dimensions at once. I don't want to say it's big problem, but it can be problem for long-term process of life.
Right. And how is your family dealing with the loss? Are they even aware of what happened, or do they suspect foul play? Are they?
I think that they can figure it out uh, I don't want to say easy, but they know what I'm doing, and they know that everything what happened for some, how can I say that, higher purpose, if you want to say it that way.
Right, makes sense. All right. So, do you want to keep talking about this issue, or would you want to move on?
I don't know. Maybe we can do another topics, because we've got a lot of things to talk
Yeah.
about
Okay.
today.
Right. And but that was actually, I mean, that seems to be, I mean, that's very important. But also, there was something even more dramatic going on here, and apparently, Lincoln Clay has recently reached out to Anthony Zender, who I just interviewed, about some of his experience. About this invasion with the Nazis. Why don't you talk a little bit about what's going on with that?
Yeah, technically, we've got the meeting of, we call it like brains meeting, the most excellent scientists, and the testers, the web developers, designers, and all kind of stuff. Uh, because we finally figured out that all of us, we've got one mutual enemy, and this enemy are Nazis from another reality, but not this reality we were speaking about. These Nazis are much more dangerous, and from another Nazi reality, and they are using much more advanced technologies, as were even experienced before. It's, we don't know what should we talk about that. What should we think about that? It's crazy. And these huge corporations, they were against each other, and they were competitive. For example, as DoD contractors, I mean Department of Defense in US, and technically, even they went into one table. I mean, onto one table. It was one huge ellipse table, and they talked about things and think about things once they were in this room, and I was eyewitness. And Lincoln Clay, he got stuck a huge bullet in his head, and once he put it out, because he can do that with his own hands, he got, doctors call it like disorder, and he can go like 80, maybe 90% of capacity of his brain. And he was thinking, and he was writing such a crazy, it was like remote writing, such a crazy mathematical, physical, chemical formulas. And these scientists were amazed that he was able to do such a fast remote reading, or writing, or something like that. And it's I think that this was help from Galactic Federation itself, on the one hand. But on the other hand, we in ACIO are very disappointed. On the other hand, we are very disappointed that they are they simply leave us in this crazy situation. As I said, on one hand, we are happy that they are sending us this intels, but on the other hand, we believed that they showed that they will show, and they will help us. I don't know why they are doing it this complicated way. I don't know. I don't know what the heck should we do.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I think maybe let's just start off with explaining who Lincoln Clay is, because some members may not even know who that is. Now we've actually talked about Lincoln Clay and some other.
Okay, okay, that's my question. That's my question. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, just briefly, because I know we got a lot going on here. But Lincoln Clay is one of these, like a head of a group division of all the Super Soldier alignment projects. I'm assuming that's not just Kruger, Shoreline, probably not Monarch Solutions. I'm assuming.
No, yes. Every single corporation except Monarch. Yes,
And DARPA as
yes,
well. Yeah.
yes,
All right.
yes,
So Lincoln Clay was basically what you call a super soldier back in World War II because of some
yes,
of his heroics, and then he had an injury in his brain that allowed him to use 80 to 90% of his brain capacity.
yes.
All right. And some call it a disorder, but I guess in that case it worked out to his benefit, because usually it doesn't when
Yes.
when your skull gets blown up. All right, so now can you talk a little bit more about some of these technologies that these Nazis have that makes them so dangerous?
Yeah, that's the stuff that we never faced before. It is universal chronospherical flipping technology, if you want to call it that way. And they can, it is not about flipping and mirroring only. They can do practically whatever they want with time and space in real time, what means uh, just like that, they don't need time, and they can do practically like move. They can mark as big part universe as they can, and they can move it from side to side, just like that, with no consequences. And they can multiplicate the same spot of the same patterns, if you want to call it that way, of physical world. They can do extremely crazy stuff to astral world and all kind of stuff. And we never faced something like that before. And I don't know. I think that we can talk about this spherical weird spherical shaped octagonal. And I think that it will be much better to join Jessica, because Jessica was one of the key people who helped us. I mean, who helped ACIO to decode what is this device for. So I think that I mean, I believe, I'm sure that her memories will help us and people to get much deeper into details of this situation.
Okay, so are you referring to this dice, like looks like a magic 8 ball, this black
Yep.
object? All right, now basically, okay, and we'll bring Jessica in just a moment. Now let me do an introduction here. So somebody sent me this photo and said they found this online. They were searching for the Dr. Jonathan Reed artifact, and they found this photo, and they asked me what it was, and I just told them I'll get back to you. I would contact Peter. And apparently, Peter, this is more than just some strange-looking object that's maybe used for maybe some board game. Apparently, it's the real thing. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now Jessica, what do you think we're looking at here? I'm going to put a photo in the video so the audience members can see this.
Well, this is the first time that I've seen it physically, but I have seen it spiritually, or in another dimension. And when Peter asked me what I can do with it, I knew immediately, first of all, that this is related to your signature, just similar to the way ETs have a spacecraft and they have their DNA somewhat ingrained in the spacecraft. So they're thinking and then they're moving. The craft is moving with them. Likewise, this artifact or this device is utilized to and ID'd with the individual. That's why it's not easy for someone to just pick it up and use it. And obviously they weren't very concerned that it was left behind. Otherwise they would go and retrace it and recapture it. So they have it there for a purpose. Immediately I knew that the capabilities of this was to be able to move into multiple parallels, dimensions, timelines. And it's very seamless. And I have the ability to do that now without a device, but I have had memories of holding a device in my hand, and so it looks very familiar. And as Peter mentioned, that the symbols could it's the coordinates of the two symbols together. Selecting which ones that you want to join will identify where you're going and what location. So and I try to explain this to Peter, is that, and he said, well, maybe this is your alter ego doing this, but my first thing that I did when I saw it was my other aspect just jumped right into that crystal, and I knew, it's like I knew automatically what to do, as I know what to do when I see a portal. I think about, oh, should I go in that portal or not? And just as I'm thinking it, I'm already traveling through it. So then I just follow it, and I've learned to trust that. I don't get harmed. It's as if I have access into all these spaces anyhow. And of course, I'm responsible for that and have a sense of morality and knowing that it impacts others. So I'm very careful with it. But I have this piece of shungite. It's like a pyramid. And it's funny because that's like a 5 shaped in the center, but it's like multiple triangles around it. And it's black as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, why does it have a little pentagon in the middle? Is that a crystal? It looks like a clear piece of glass. So what do you think that is in the center?
it's not just a crystal. I believe it's a modified. It's created off world, and it has it's kind of like a crystal skull. It has embedded information in it. And it's highly complex. So if you look at the crystal skull, and we know that the crystals were used essentially to create our computers, and the crystal skulls also have data in them, and it's encoded information, and all the small striations, lines, and all those other things, create the zeros and the ones, or whatever type of technology that you're looking at. So if you were to, as I'm looking at the crystal right now, I could see that it has levels of coding and almost some minuscule wiring that would allow, when the two points are pressed on, that it creates a signature and direction code. It's not visible. It's something that would have to be encrypted and used, but it was definitely designed. It is not in natural form in crystal alone. It has other elements to it.
Now, can you give us some information, maybe you, Jessica, or Peter, about the origin of this technology? Now, I know, Peter, you mentioned something about chronospheric flipping technology. Is this Nazi? Because that doesn't necessarily look Nazi to me. But maybe it is. I don't know.
That predates Nazi.
So, you think this device looks rather new. Are you suggesting that it could possibly be thousands of years old?
Oh yeah, definitely. And that one right there feels like it came from Orion.
And the Orions would be what, the reptilians, or maybe even some Greys?
It predates them.
Huh.
Another group,
So,
and not.
so essentially, this device puts you into another parallel universe. That's the main goal, or time travel.
It's closer to the function of like the builders, the guardians, those that were entrusted to go through the different gates. I've had many incarnations where I was entrusted to access different points. And of course, with that comes a sense of, like I said, a sense of responsibility. You're not there to go in and steal or do anything, but actually to maintain and make sure that things are in their proper alignment. And so you're visiting different locations, observing, being a watcher, and making sure that societies are going well. So it's usually used for that cause. Of course, many of these tools are hijacked by others that would take in and utilize these things for their own agendas. And that's how you see the Greys, the Orion Greys, which I've had some problems with. And they don't have, they don't go under the order of consciousness or responsibility, and will, misuse some of these devices for different things. Now, is it possible that the Nazis had something like this? I'd say very, very likely yes, because I feel like I was familiar with it from the time when I was Sigrun with the Vril. It does look familiar from that time as well. And I'm just sort of looking at see if I can get any more information from. But I know that we probably analyzed it and looked at it, and then the scientists tried to examine and see how it was used as well. But they're very, very curious. Oh, the crystal skulls. Yeah, there's a very famous crystal skull over there with the Nazis. And I communicated with that one time, too, through a session with someone. And
Well, what do you mean over there with the Nazis? Are these the Lake Stockton that's about to attack us, or is this another?
That's the Fourth Reich, right? You talking about the Fourth Reich or the Third Reich? The Third Reich was from the 1940s, World War II, and the Fourth Reich is this other one that you're talking about, the new one, the alternate one.
Yeah, the Light Warriors,
Yes.
Lake Stockton. So what groups did you contact?
That would have been through the Third Reich, and when I remember seeing it, and I also remember connecting with a crystal skull. I was doing a session for someone, and a crystal skull came through, and I can't remember the name of the crystal skull, but I was looking actually in a museum, and I was able to observe an incident where I saw it was Hitler and some others coming in to get the crystal skull. They knew about it, and they were talking to the curator, and the curator's name was the same name as the crystal skull, but I didn't know that. I just said the name, and the individual looked it up, and I have a testimony of that. The individual looked it up, and in fact, that crystal skull did exist. So they collected crystal skulls. They used a lot of the very ancient technology to access different things. Now, anyone could access. A lot of this stuff is in our memories. A lot of it we have access to. It's universal knowledge, but not everyone is able to open it. You really have to have certain people help you open up that information. But hopefully, when it does go in the right place, it does. No one hurts anyone in the process.
All right, so let's go back to this object again. Now, it appears it's almost like a pancake, maybe a pyramid, maybe on both sides, or maybe conical on both sides. So, what exactly, what would, if we were to turn this thing over, what would we see on the other side, facing his palms, or his hands?
I'm seeing two versions of it. One is it's smooth and round on the bottom, and the other one, it actually continues the design on the bottom as well. So I'm seeing two versions of it. I don't know why. Maybe it's flipping on me, but it feels like it fits perfectly in the hand, very comfortable.
And if you were to like look into the crystal in the middle, would you see something inside there? Maybe some gel moving around or black goo. What do you think?
To me, it looks like lines kind of would form. It looks like some lines, but there would be kind of the way if you're looking at a program, and the wires would line up, but they're jagged lines. They're not just straight lines going down.
Now,
kind of,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's almost like they're making kind of like a lightning bolt. I'm seeing that kind of lines. Yeah.
And can you give us some idea where this device is currently located? Because I mean, obviously this image was pulled off the internet, so somebody is leaking information anywhere, somewhere. Maybe somebody had this artifact stuck in a dusty attic somewhere, and they just put a photo online as, "Hey, well, I found this." And well, what is this? What is this? And so, what are you picking up? Is this from like some secret government laboratory they're leaking, or is this somebody's private collection? What do you think?
I think it's a person's private collection, and it looks like it's in the eastern bloc of the world. I can't quite see it. It's either from Germany to the Slavic countries. It's somewhere over in there.
I know where it is. I know that it is in Slovakia, in my homeland. I know that.
Yeah. See, I could feel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you're right.
Well, Peter, is that your device? Are you?
No. It's in my country physically. Okay, in my homeland.
Well, do you have one in your possession?
No, it's only one. This is only one.
Only one on the planet.
Because technically there are tons of this kind of stuff, but it is not like a series of, I don't know, of electronics, cars or something like that, because technically every single one is unique. It has their own way of energetic source, their own they have their own symbols and all kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
and they were wide, not wide world, but wide universal spread it, because once they will be, how can I say that, once they will be merged together again, they will be technically like, how can I say that, imaginable powerful, extremely powerful, and it can be dangerous because the whole dimension can collapse, you know.
Oh, okay. And what do you call this particular device, if it had a name?
No, that's the problem. We have no idea how to call it. We just call it, as I said, universal chronospherical flipper device.
Now, what does that have to do with the Nazis invading us? Because apparently the Nazis were defeated in World War II. So can you explain?
In our reality, not in another realities, in many other realities.
Now, we've talked about this, where Donald Trump is the president, and the other parallel realities where the Aryan Nazi Party has taken over the United States, and things are actually quite nice unless you're want to do interracial marriage and more controversial types of marriages. So they don't necessarily seem so evil, and they didn't kill all the Jews. So why why is it that they even want to come here at this time? What agendas do they have?
once again, it's not their agenda. It's agenda of Nordics, because they wanna reunite. Do you know what I mean?
Now, is the Nordic the same one that killed your wife?
Yeah.
And you think these are the same types of Nordics that would be manipulating these Nazis to do this behavior?
I'm
Invasion.
absolutely sure. I'm absolutely sure about that. And problem is, Jessica mentioned Orion, right?
Right.
Orion.
And the Orion, yes. And the fact is that the Nordics are originally from Orion.
Right.
They are from 12 Pleiades, Orion, Lyra, Cassiopeia, and all kind of this stuff, because they are not a clean race, if you wanna say that way. They are mixture, some kind of weird mixture. But part of them are from parts. A few of their parts are from Orion. Yeah, you know.
So, if they themselves are interspecial mutt per se, why are they so opposed to humans intermarrying with other color races and so on? What's their hang up about that?
This is it, man. This is it, because they can't handle that. They can't handle the fact that they are like 60 races almost mixture, right? And they can choose very good, very easy manipulating people who can be very easy manipulated. This is it, and they are good at manipulation. So this was the reason why they chose Germans, and why they told them this bullshit about clean race, also called Übermenschen, and you know, all kind of this crazy stuff, you know.
Okay, so if let's just say theoretically some of these Nazis were listening to this interview that were about to invade us, what would you tell them?
Don't believe Nordics, because they will betray you as they betray everyone who they claimed that they are working with. This is only one thing I can tell you.
Yeah, but Peter, we've talked about this in the past about these Nordic, I guess you can call them Nordic queens.
Yeah, not super soldiers, but Nordics. Yes.
Well, they control these super soldiers, and really, when they're under the control of these, when they have these super soldiers under their control, that they don't really have any free will choice. They just do whatever, like a total puppet. Is that correct?
Yeah, technically yes.
So really, trying to reason or talk to these people probably is not going to make much difference.
I don't think so, because super soldier queens are super soldier queens. They have no IQ. What I mean, like
Emotional IQ.
I mean EQ, emotional intelligence. EQ. They have no EQ. You know.
Okay, so maybe what we need to do is we need
because technically when this one she killed my wife. When she first time came to me, and when she started to talk about really weird stuff, she went straight ahead, and I will quote her, let's fuck to make babies, you know. And I'm like, what? I wanna fuck you because I want have babies with you. This was like that, you know. So they are.
So now that she got rid of your wife, she thinks it'll be easier for you to go along with that. Is that?
Yeah.
Well, do these beings? I thought these extraterrestrials have a higher level of spirituality. You think they would believe in the laws of karma?
I don't think so. No. No, I don't think so.
All right. And can you explain what do you think will happen now that? Well, first of all, how did you find out that these Nazis were invading us? Because last I checked on the news, I don't see any Nazis walking down the streets anywhere. Maybe they're not telling us. Oh, okay. We lost Adrian. Oh. Okay.
What? We lost Adrian?
Yeah. Because I wanted
Give
him.
me a sec. What should we do?
Well.
Okay. Give me a sec. I will let him again.
Yeah.
I
wanted to ask him questions.
Give me a sec,
to the end of this.
I will let him again. Okay, I'm adding him again.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think at least it will, because we lost him.
Well, while we're waiting to get him back,
Okay.
Going back to my question, can you explain to the audience members how you actually found out that these Nazis were apparently about to invade us?
Yeah, because they are underground. All of them are underground and waiting for the commanders. Because they are unable to do their stuff without commanders, you know?
Now, a lot of these commanders that are running these Leakstaten, I guess that you called them,
Yeah.
aren't they the same people here in our parallel reality? In our reality here? Not parallel, but...
Yeah. You are right. Mm-hmm.
Aren't we all, I say we, but don't we all live like a more harmonious life here and not really participating in that belief system?
Yeah, that's a problem that they wanna disturb. I mean, they wanna how can I say that, destroy our what belief
way of
system.
life?
Yeah, a way of life, belief system, because they thought, they believe that once they destroy our old traditions, it will actually work for positive, for them in positive way. That's my question. How can we add Adrian again? Crap.
Maybe his phone's dead or something, or his internet dropped. We could try again in another 5-10 minutes. But now
The tall whites are all the tall whites are in Dulce.
Yeah, I know that.
I mean, there's tons of them in the U.S. right now. I mean, we've got a problem in Dulce's many levels beneath the ground.
Yeah,
And-
it's just like 120 levels underground. I know that.
It's crazy.
I know that, and I saw them. They are like from 10 to 12 feet high. These tall lights.
Yeah.
And they are extremely white. It's like light shining, and they looks like like Nordics, but they are not Nordics, because they are really pure raced, if you wanna call it that way, because Nordics are not, and their agenda is opposite of Nordics agenda, but problem is that they want something as a reward, and what is reward? This reward is or maybe R, if you want to call it that way, abductions of young women,
We lost our audio.
My
We can't
audio.
hear you. We can't hear James. I think James
okay,
is talking.
sorry. Yeah, so I sent a photo here to Peter. Two of them. One is a boy, apparently from Planet X, which the Dulce base apparently has a mirror sister facility on Planet X. I don't know if you can confirm if that's...
Yeah, exactly.
Is that... Am I allowed to show that in the footage? That boy?
I think yeah.
And is that a tall white? Or is that someone different?
Yeah, but he's a boy, so he's not tall, but he will be tall. Yeah, exactly.
And they're bald like that?
Yeah, exactly. But boys, I mean
Okay.
boys like men are bald, and girls, respectively, women are blonde-haired, if you want to say it that way. Yes.
And there's another one
yes.
there. That one, that's a drawing, I think. Yeah, that definitely looks like a drawing. So are basically all three of those tall whites?
I don't know. I need to see it. Give me a sec.
Let's see here. Did I send it to you, Jessica? Okay.
Yeah, that one, the child, yeah, definitely. Skin
Yeah,
tone is right.
I know. And just by the way, I know the woman on second photo.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is. Who is that lady that we're looking at?
Altasha. Alta.
Alta?
Yeah. Alta.
And where does she currently reside?
She's in Dulce right now. Alta, what means in Italian high, like how can I say that? High, like measurement. You do know what I mean when something is huge. It is high.
Oh, she's a high rank.
No. Her name is Alta, what means high, like tall, if you wanna say it that way. But it is not characteristic. It's just name, as your name, my name, or something like that.
But is she a hybrid? Because she doesn't look like the others.
No. She's not a hybrid. She's how can I say that? Technically, white tolls or shiny tolls are, all of them are or were, if you want to say it that way, originally only mixtured people with another races. Okay, this is
tall
what
white.
She looks human.
yeah
She looks more human.
yeah exactly.
All right. Well, so that gives the audience members an idea of what these beans look like. And I guess Adrian's back with us. It appears, I think. Oh, never mind. No, cancel that. No, I'm wrong. All right. So let's move on here. Is everybody satisfied? Oh, one more question. So, what will happen to humanity? I guess you kind of already answered this. If the Nazis were not stopped, because I know Lincoln Clay he claims that there's this clone army that's going to protect us. So what happens if this clone army isn't sent out? What would we see? Nazis walking down the streets?
Definitely yes. I know that you will that you don't like to hear that, but it will be like that.
Right. And what about the United States military? Is there anything the military should do to prepare for this invasion?
Yeah, they need to. This is not funny. They need to check the ground, make the sondas. Do you know what I mean?
The sown dust? Sonar?
No. Yeah. The sonars. I mean, as you can do that in the ocean, they can do that also in the ground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. They can even ring the ground like a bell and try to interpret where the sounds are vibrating to figure out what like hollow
vibrate
cavities
in different way. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully somebody will do something like that and figure out what to do. But what about this clone army?
I just wanna say that something like that we are talking about, Russians are doing for few months, so they are aware, and I don't know if people in the U.S. military are, how can I say that, they are aware. I know that they are aware, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if they are taking this so serious as they should. You
Right.
know, I don't know, and it's bad for people in US. You know.
Well, I've had some CIA vans and NSA vans show up across the street, but the information that's been relayed to me is that they really don't believe the things that that I'm talking about. They just want to, and maybe they want to find something bad about me or something like that. I guess their own agenda is not really there to help. Maybe they can switch that gear a little bit and actually help people.
Yeah, they how can I say that? It's only you know, once they figure out what the heck is going on, technically it will be not another option for them to do another stuff than helping people, you know.
Right. Well, I think it's time. Let's move on a bit. Unless you want to keep talking about this some more, or even Jessica,
I
if you
think,
wanted to
yeah,
comment. If there's anything else you wanted to say.
Well, I agree with Peter that the tall whites, this is what differentiates between the Third Reich and the Fourth Reich is the tall whites are added to the mix, and it creates a whole different dynamic. We're not really dealing with humans; we're really dealing with a whole other species. It's a whole other race, and as Peter explained, it's a multi-hybrid type of race that has no emotion. So it creates a more serious dynamic, and to get them back into their proper place in another timeline where they belong in the alternate timeline, and not integrating into here. But it sounds like it's too late for that, and a lot of them are borrowing down into the earth, not necessarily the hollow earth, but more the shallow aspect of the earth, where we have this enormous tunnel system throughout the planet. And many people are aware of it. Many people have been talking about it for a while. So it's something that we need to be aware of. And the governments, they don't want disclosure. They want to keep everything hush. They don't want to have anyone frightened. But they need to focus their energy on what's going on underneath us, because at one point or another, we're going to have to deal with it. And hopefully it's on our terms, not their terms.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a PR nightmare for the military, the governments, to explain that, oh, by the way, we've been lying about aliens. Oh, by the way, Nazis are about to invade us from another parallel universe. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to explain that. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of unrest. And, of course, Jessica, I just sent you the photos of the CIA and the NSA vans. So I'll be sure to put that up there for the audience members.
And that's what they're doing. They're following people like you, instead of actually looking into the information that we're providing for them to look into, to better secure people on the planet.
They've done that to you too, Jessica. What was it? Are you allowed to talk about what happened to the Australian secret services or special services?
Yeah, Australian special services were complaining about me, and I was like, well, what was I doing? I was just having my show, talking about some of the things that are happening on alternate dimensional space or other dimensional space and different timelines and in the past. So I don't think that's a crime.
But technically, you can be happy that they are interested in you in this way, because it's a positive confirmation that the information what are you exposing are true. You know that.
Yeah. So I guess we're doing something right, but just like anything, they could be using their energy to actually looking into what we're saying, and then securing whatever's going on. I mean, even that incident in Korea, what's going on in Korea, who's to say that he's not hijacked and has he's an ET that has been able to morph and is doing all this type of stuff. And if they managed it correctly and they identified it properly, then they can resolve these things a lot easier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as the intel in North Korea, it does appear that the cabal is using that regime as an experimental ground to see how far they can mind control the masses, and unfortunately, it appears that it's working quite well, which is quite concerning. So the Anunnakis desire to put that whole grid over the entire planet, but I do also think it's going to fail. I mean, it's clearly that the whole country is falling apart, so maybe it can work for so long. Unless, Peter, you want to comment about the North Korean regime.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. It's a problem, because they know what's going on, that it is not holding any longer.
Yeah. Well, I was getting the impression that I don't know if any of this is accurate, but I'll throw it out anyway. That his own general Kim Jong-un. Okay, yeah, his own generals basically view him as weak, and I get the impression that there'll probably be a coup where they will attempt to kill him, and the next thing you know, the whole country is going to fall apart in civil war and starvation, and then eventually it will, because the Chinese government is propping up that economy to keep it from totally collapsing. So I think maybe the Chinese will basically say enough's enough. But it'd be nice to see the Korean Peninsula unified and all those amazing technologies, hyperloops, and rebuilding the society and all that take place. And by the way, they're building a bridge from Korea to Japan. I don't know if you've heard about that. Although not a bridge, a tunnel, and I'm sure there's already tunnels under there with the secrets.
They are eight of them in total.
Oh wow, well okay, well at least one will be open up to the public. All right, so now we're way off topic, so let's go on here. Because I want to talk a little bit about what happened to Bruno Borges, and okay, so this guy, he's a UFO enthusiast, researcher in Brazil. And apparently his parents went away for, I guess, 25 days. And when they came back, he was missing, but they found in his room 14 encrypted books with signs associated with the Illuminati spread across the floor. And they also found this strange statue of course, let's see here. There's of Giordano Bruno, who predicted alien life. He's a 16th century philosopher. So what do you think ever happened to Bruno Borges?
Nothing complicated. He just migrates to fifth dimension.
Okay, do you think the guy was an ET himself?
No, but he was connected to ETs.
And Jessica, what do you think? What are you picking up?
I wonder if he's the same guy. He's it's him, and he was the guy from the 16th century.
Yeah.
So he's a time traveler.
It's another incarnation, and the time traveler at the once, if you wanna say that.
Yeah. That's what immediately I picked that up.
Right. Well, what do you think are in these manuscripts? Because this article certainly did not discuss what was in those manuscripts. Something of cryptid books and signs associated with the Illuminati. What's your thoughts about that? What is he probably more? He's probably talking about first contact with aliens. That's my guess, and they don't want the public knowing. But what are your thoughts?
Not only first contact. About all contacts with aliens and all of our, how can I say that, our encounters with aliens, and how they modified our DNA and patterns of behavior and all kind of stuff, you know.
Right.
And this is the reason why he encrypted that.
Oh, why he doesn't want humans to know, or
Yes.
but what's the point of disclosure if you don't want people to know?
No, because it wasn't his disclosure. It was he was only remote writer, right?
Okay, so that's when you go into a trance and write down, not really think about what you're writing.
Yeah. For example, you it can happen like, for example, you are absolutely you have absolutely no idea how um is Chinese pronounced, how can you write Chinese, and you will simply fell into trance and write goddamn fast in Chinese, and it is something like that. Or maybe it was because it happened already, you know.
Right. Jessica, would you like to comment anything else about this particular story?
I'm feeling that it was his personal journal, or that he was, kind of leaving clues and information, kind of like the Voynich, maybe, in a way.
You mean Voynich manuscript?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that one.
Voynich manuscript, just by the way, was written in 14th century in Czech Republic, what is technically my homeland, just by the way.
So maybe Peter can better talk about that, but I think it's a collection of information, and if it's encrypted or translated properly, you probably get some information. But even still, a lot of this information is fragmented, because they understand how to fill in the blanks of the details. It's just enough to remind and trigger them. So they're not. It's not like they've written. It was not intended for the general public to access these things. So you have to kind of read between the lines when you're looking at it to understand what even when you do translate it.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, well, wherever you are, Bruno, thank you for your gift. Hopefully it won't be suppressed. All right. And if anybody knows a link to where we can find access to the translations, it's probably all in a government warehouse right now, next to the Ark of Covenant or something, collecting dust pretty soon. All right. So moving on here. All right. According to an April 22nd COBRA report, there were power outages in San Francisco. Actually, it's not just the COBRA report, but there were power outages in San Francisco, LA, and New York on that particular day, or around that day. And COBRA, according to a COBRA report, it says here, the Palladians have contacted top Russian military personnel about the directed energy weapon issue. So something about if attacks on light workers and light warriors, which by the way are Lichtsoldaten, light warriors. I don't know why you
Lichtsoldaten.
Lichtsoldaten. Okay, yeah, well, those are the Nazis. I don't know why he's saying that, but the option now is on the table to disable key organizations penetrating those crimes with a selective EMP strike with a similar electronic warfare operation. The first two targets mentioned were DARPA and Raytheon. So it appears. So we've had these. There were power outages in San Francisco, LA, New York. I guess the first question to you, Peter or Jessica, is who were responsible for these power outages? Well, let's just start with that. Does anyone have any information?
Yeah. It was, how can I say that? It was test of Nazi weapons, first test of Nazi weapons, and many of these outages happened in Western Europe also, in big cities of Western Europe also.
Right, so Cobra did not mention anything about... I'm assuming it's these same Nazis that want to invade us.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, now, of course, Cobra did not mention anything about that. But maybe he doesn't know. I don't know. And so I guess the ETs are going to do an EMP strike on DARPA and Raytheon to stop the attacks of lightworkers, but apparently it's not attacks on lightworkers per se, it's attacks by the Nazis.
Yes.
On everybody, not just light workers, I guess. I don't know. These Nazis probably don't mind light workers here in this reality because we're trying to raise the consciousness, like they think they are. Am I even correct in that thinking?
Yes, they are just doing their job, because it's about testing these EMP weapons, which can do a very precise attacks, via GPS or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think Max Steele recently came out and said that it was the Russians who were behind the EMP strike, and of course there's a lot of other theories. So yeah, so I guess, and you also mentioned it could be Monarch Solutions as well.
Definitely Russians not. The Monarchs, how can I say that? Everybody believed, so in the past, okay, that the Monarchs are behind these attacks. What we figured out that it's not true, and these Nazi invaders are doing this as a test, because they've got their huge EMP satellite, and they can move. Just by the way, they can move it. I mean, not physically, but it's like net of satellites all around the orbit, and they can move their amount of energy and strike practically everywhere all around the world.
But we have a secret. I mean, our secret space program, the ICC, the Alliance, and of course, I guess we can't really expect any help from the Dark Fleet since they're probably on board with the same groups. Surely, off world, they know what's going on here. Are they all going to just say, "Oh, we're just going to do hands off, let the Nazis take over"? Our brethren here on planet Earth.
Technically, we are very disappointed. We in ACIO, we are very disappointed that they are doing it exactly this way you just mentioned, and we don't know why. That's the problem. We don't know why.
You mean the SSP is not going to get involved? They're just going to let what happens.
Yeah.
Then I know, of course, Benjamin Fulford. He keeps promoting how the secret space program is going to come out and help humanity, release all this amazing technologies, and apparently they don't want people to know that they have a breakaway civilization because I guess they enjoy all the power they have by being much more superior technologically.
Yeah, you are right.
And so, really, if humanity comes to all this, it's really it's a sign that. Honestly, we really need to be working together, and the fact that we can't, it's quite disappointing.
Yes, no, not quite. Very disappointing.
Right. Now, is there a way? So definitely, because I know one time you mentioned that these Nazis manifested a base in Australia, and what is known as a time freezing zone, a whole military base, so a regiment with tanks. Even buildings, soldiers, Lichtsoldaten.
Lichtsoldaten, yeah.
Well, we have to activate my German speaking abilities. But still, yeah. So, and then it disappeared out of space-time. So, essentially, they're still there and waiting. They just were waiting for them to pop out of the bubble.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. That's true.
And when do you think it's going to happen?
I don't know. It's only a matter of time, few months.
Right. It's so hard to predict the future. Has Lincoln Clay given you any intel on that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He thought that. And it was like 2 or 3 months ago, and I don't want to say we don't believe him, but we thought it was very low on, on probability that the last Christmas was the last peaceful Christmas, and we were like, what the heck are you talking about, man? And he was like, you will see, you will figure out. And we were like, what the heck,
Well,
Yeah.
so I think a lot of people. What about people who are involved in religious dogma? How would these Nazis? How do they treat religious dogma? Do they accept it? Are they
Yeah.
tolerate it?
Yep.
Okay, so really, so those folks and those organizations won't be. Well, I guess they'll probably still have to have their eyes awakened once they realize all these technologies exist. So really, what about the United States government? Will these Nazis try to take over Washington D.C. and say, oh, by the way, here's a swastika flag flying over the White House? Is that one of the things they would like to see?
Yeah, but they will. How can I say that? They will tear down. The Capitol. Do you know what I mean?
Why would they do something like that?
No, not the building, but the monolith in front of it, and they will get the eagle with the eagle with the ring and the swastika inside the ring. Do you know what I mean?
The Washington Monument, the giant obelisk, the
Yeah,
660 foot
exactly.
obelisk.
They will tear it down and get something like that instead of it. And this swastika sign will rotate inside this huge monument. It will be like, I don't know, like 100 feet, maybe 150 feet tall, something like that. I mean, the whole monument, and this swastika, what like sign, will rotate inside of this circle.
Well, Peter, you describe it as if you've actually seen it.
Yeah, in another reality. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I guess is there like an occultic reason why they have to get rid of the obelisk there to replace it? Is it some power symbol?
Yeah. It is about like how can I say that? The obelisk, the monolith, represents what? Like positive, or if you wanna say it, white. I mean, white. Positive powers, white powers, and black powers. I mean, dark powers. Black magic, yeah. It is Tule and real. Do you know what I mean? Something like that.
Now, some claim the black. Of course, they worship the black sun. Is the Vril Society.
Yeah.
So some claim the black sun is actually the black goo. Is there any
A form of black goo? Yes.
All right, Jessica, you wanna comment about this? Have you seen this parallel reality? Have you ever had any vacations over there? Dreams?
I mean, there's. I don't know necessarily as I see the White House being taken over, but there's definitely. I see almost like there's multiple possibilities. Maybe 4 or 5 streams of possibilities of timelines. We really have a lot going on at once, and it's hard to just identify one as a certain time end result, as which one's going to actually set into our reality. And so when I look at it, I don't try to project and I don't try to look, but I do know what happens down the road, further down the road, and some of it doesn't look very good. And so I've been trying to see, working with other fifth dimensional and higher beings to see if we can shift the timeline so it aligns which is the highest potential for humanity, whatever that is. But that is definitely, either way, this timeline that Peter's talking about is going to play out. It will definitely play out because it's very dominant and very, very with strong intention to be a reality. But I honestly, I can't say that for sure. A kind of a little piece of trivia: the gentleman that sang that rock song, "Black Hole Sun," just died. I don't know if that means anything, but I don't know if he's has a connection or was guided by some of this. It just happened the other day, so I don't know if that didn't belong to the conversation.
Peter, you want to comment about that?
Yeah, because technically once someone is leaking out the truth, it's very easy. He must die. At least according to these twist-minded people, you know?
Well, what about us, Peter? Let's just say these Nazis were successful to take over. Would they come out? Would they try to kill Lincoln Clay, you, myself?
I think that we are not so interesting for them.
So they're more. I guess want to kill the powers that were, the cabal.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right.
These so-called Jews, really, they're not real Jews. They're just the Azakazi. I'm saying that right?
You mean Khazars?
The Khazars, yeah, the Khazarian. I'm sure that the Nazis they probably have that in every school textbook and drill that into the children from a young age. In this reality, they don't even teach that to the children. If you talk about that.
You are right.
At least here in the United States, they never taught us anything about that in the public schools, which I was shocked when I found out that this was actually taking place. But okay, so let's unless anybody wants to comment further, let's move on. Okay, well, let's move on then. So now we got a photo of this girl. She looks like she's in a spaceship, and there's a peace sign on planet Earth, which is something. Would be beautiful if something like that actually did take place. And if we were to zoom in, what continent is that? Is that Africa? Okay, so
no, it's not. It's not Africa. It's what is it, technically?
Because I wonder if there's a I mean that looks like Africa.
No, it's
backwards.
South America. It's South America.
I think the image is actually inverted.
Inverted. Yeah. It's
So maybe there's some symbolic symbolic symbol about that particular region, but. What about this girl?
It's Africa, but inverted. Yes, you are right.
So, what can you tell us about this girl and I guess this pendant? Is there something special about it? And apparently, this is a real person. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is not person. This entity, if you wanna call her person, then okay, no problem. Call her person. And believe me or not, people. She's third sister of Semyase and Samara. It's crazy.
Well, she doesn't look like an alien.
But she is very similar to Semyase and Samara.
Okay, so she's what? Plejarin?
She's so technically, believe it or not, but she's Pleiadian. But problem is, she is only part Pleiadian. and the main stuff is she is Nordic, and the name is Simone. It's like Simone, writing Simone, right? Because it's German name, I mean female name, you know. And she's captain of one of huge mothership, I mean spaceship, and she's just, you know, how can I say that, looking over the earth, because technically she's not so evil. Technically not only not so evil, she's not evil at all. And they I mean Germans, not Germans, Nordics and Nazis, they threw her away, and Samara and Semyasa threw her away, because all of them are bad, you know. Nordics, Nazis, and Samara and Semyasa, and she's good. So technically, she joined Galactic Federation. You know, if you can see the logo on her arm, it's logo of Intergalactic Federation.
Well, that's pretty amazing. I mean, how would this artist, who's he has a prestigious art firm in California where he makes movie posters for Hollywood. I mean, how would he even know all this? Is he channeling? Does he astral travel when he sleeps at night and he comes back and gets inspired?
Yeah, I'm goddamn sure that this is the case exactly. And if you see on the necklet, on her necklet, what is like just hovering on the picture, this is the main power of her abilities. And of course, another important device about her back, it is above her back wrist. The how can it is, what it is, blue, something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that looks like a communication device on her.
Yeah, something like that. Yes, it is connected. Everything of this is connected, and mutually, and enhanced, much more enhanced her powers and abilities. And once again, she is very helpful for us. Simone is very helpful for us, because she has a lot of wisdoms from all around of these negative sides, negative, how can I say that, movements, you know, negative organizations. And you know, the problem is that she feels so lonely, you know, because all of her elders and people just went her away, you know, threw her away, you know.
Well, but she must also feel a lot of shame, because maybe she thinks her genetic, she thinks she's genetically inferior, because so many of her family members are so awful.
Yeah, she feel really really shameful, but you know, it's, she feels shameful, you are right, on one hand, but on the other hand, on the other hand, she think that the best way how to fix this is to help good people, good entities, you know, good purpose, if you want to call it that way. So this is the reason why she's helping us.
It almost looks like she's crying a little bit if you zoom in, and maybe she's tearing on her eyes. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I just noticed that. So this device on her left arm, is that what they actually look like for these beings? If you were to go hang out with someone in the Galactic Confederation.
Yes, you are right.
And they wear clothes that looks like that.
Yes.
Wow.
And she look very human.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, but this is her natural look. So technically, right now, as we can see her on the video, she's not shifted. This is the craziest way.
Do you think Simone, is that what you call her, Simone?
Simone, yeah, Simone.
You think she'll watch this video?
She definitely will show this video.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
She definitely will see this video, definitely.
And so she's living on a spaceship right now, I'm assuming, over planet Earth.
Yeah.
And maybe there is a parallel reality where the continent of Africa lights up like that. It would probably have to be a bunch of spaceships because part of Sahara right there is deserted. So that might be a bunch of Galactic Confederation spaceships.
Yes, you are right.
Yeah, this is probably after first contact.
Yes.
And you want to explain to the audience members how you actually found this photo?
What happened?
Yeah, how did you find this photo?
It was like you sent me the picture, and
No, it was on my I have this as a wallpaper background on my.
yeah. You was screen sharing me. That was it. Okay.
He saw it. He's like, hey, I know her. Okay.
And I was like, holy crap! I know her from somewhere, and I wasn't able to recognize the details. And one old Aborigine lady here in Land Down Under in Australia do opening. I mean the memories opening for me, and I figured everything out, and after that I made a few calls, and these people just ensure me that I'm right.
Yeah, I was wondering if we could zoom in. Can somebody zoom in to the words? I'm trying to read it. It's mirrored, but it says world peace must BSBS. I can't. It's hard. I don't know. Somebody can mirror image that. We can read that. Be curious to see what that pad.
Is it on the ship?
Yeah. Do you have the photo? I'm sorry, the drawing, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm worried.
Is that on the writing is on the ship or the writing is on the planet?
It's on her the screen pad. I'm just curious to see what there's probably a message in that. We should probably check that out.
Check it out. Yeah. Well, I have some questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Peter knows that I had an encounter with Semyase, and she actually came in 3D and communicated with me, and under the guise of being a parent. And it was not all sorts of things were happening when she did that, and even Men in Black were showing up. And now I'm looking at this picture saying that girl looks familiar as well, and might have been around my son as well. So, Peter, what is going on?
You know, everything is connected mutually. Give me a sec. Develop must world peace must develop from inner peace. Reason what? I'm trying to read that. World peace must develop from inner peace. Reason is not absence of violence. Peace is the manifestation of human confession. Dalai Lama. Holy crap. I was able to read that. I'm happy.
Very good.
I'm happy. Okay, so sorry.
All right. Well, Peter, you know that I met Semyase, and
I
crazy
know
stuff was really happening at the time. Even the Men in Black showed up.
I know
it was
that.
really weird. All right. Well, and this girl looks familiar as well, and I think
Because
she's been
she's
around.
her sister.
She's been around. Why are they coming around my family?
Because your family is important. This is it.
So I just want to make sure that she doesn't have bad intention, as Semyase
Definitely
had
not.
bad intention.
Definitely not. Semoine, definitely not.
Okay. I'll trust you. But I'll keep my eyes open.
Semoine is only one of three sisters who is really good.
Well, Amara, the mother, right? Isn't that the name of Semyase's mother? Amara and Simone's mother?
Amara is all of her mother. Yeah.
And yeah,
All
and
of their mother. I mean,
right.
Samara, Semyase, and Semoine. Yeah, you are right.
Okay. Well, they got a bad track record, so I'm just keeping my eyes open.
Yeah, you are right.
Maybe the Galactic Council will be around and create a better influence.
And this is the fact that they, what is it? Tell me. Okay, this is something like that. And this is the fact that the Galactic Federation, I mean members of Galactic Federation, are very happy that Semoine joined us, because as I said, she got a lot of wisdom about all of this stuff, you know.
What, they're contacting you right now? Are you getting a real-time update from them?
Yep.
Does Semoine have any messages she'd like to share?
Yeah. That give me a sec. You are finally prepared to get the world in peace. Just stay put with your ideas. You are strong and holding enough to do so. This is it. She wrote me that, Semoine.
Easier said than done, but yeah, it's so true. Thank you, Semoine. We'll try our best. Well, not try. We will do our best.
Yeah. This is so weird, you know, because she know that we are recording that.
Anything else you want to share?
No, but she just wrote me that, you know. It's so weird that if it happened during this type of session.
What does she have your phone number? Or are you holding out? What else are you holding back on us?
Nothing.
Was this like a telepathic communication?
Yeah. She can hijack electronic very good, but telepathic communication also.
Okay. I wonder.
And you are laughing on it. It's not fair.
All right. I'm gonna mute.
Yeah, I think we should move on here. I mean, I love to talk more about. Maybe even invite her to come on webcam one time. We can do a Skype conference and interview. I guess she's probably got rules. Don't they have rules? They're not supposed to interfere or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on. We have one more photo here I wanted to share. And this photo, I was hoping Adrian would be with us, but I guess for whatever reason he's not going to help out at the moment. We can't get a hold of him. But Adrian sent me this photo of this kid. I think his name is Andrew, or starts with an A, I believe. He lives in Orlando, and apparently he's my son. So I'm willing to share that, even though I know he's a minor, but in this case, it's family. So this image was taken off of Skynet, and apparently he is on a trip seat in this particular photo, and there is a device on his head which is being used to manipulate his memories. So does anyone have any comments about that?
Yeah, it's classical trip seat. There is nothing complicated and nothing, practically nothing to talk about. It's classical trip seat device.
And go ahead, Jessica.
From a lot of, just because of opening up and doing a lot of the work that I do, I've discovered, and I start to recognize people when I see them. I recognize who they are, and so I have found some of my children from previous timelines, and have interacted with them, and of course I would keep it private for their own personal, whatever their personal experiences, but that you find certain people, and it's very possible. I had dreams for a couple years of that I had a child somewhere, and I'd wake up and it's like, oh, I didn't take care of my child, or my child needed to be fed, and I wasn't there, and I had this horrible anxiety, and then I'd wake up more and like, what am I talking about? Because it wasn't anything that was happening in real time. So I wonder if, because the boy looks very similar to you, and I've seen this picture before. If it's you didn't, I don't see it in the chat group, but I think I know which picture you're talking about. And
I could send it to you again, and I'll put it up for the
send it
audience
again.
members.
But if it's the one that you were talking about before, he looks very much like you.
Well, what is this device on his head? Could somebody please explain what we're looking?
As I told you, it's a classical trip seat.
Okay, but the seat itself is. When you think of a trip seat, you think of the seat, not necessarily a device on the head. That's why I was just wondering what that particular device does.
Via this, they can. How can I say that? They can put needles into his head via this type of device. Okay, this is it.
And do you think the group that's doing that to him is one of these positive groups, Kruger or something?
Definitely yes. They wanna enhance his how can I say that, his gifts, his talents, positive positive sides, if you wanna call it that way.
Now, Jessica, you've said that this guy, apparently his mother, well, he's embedded in his family. I guess he lives a totally normal life, what she thinks is normal, minus the fact that he's doing missions already and being trained. But his mother is a ET. Is there anything you would like to comment about that?
What they do is, they're just integrating him into the society, and hopefully at some point that you get to meet him, and it will help you to be more at peace. I know that it helped me, and even though, seemingly the ones that I had met were more mature, not teenagers. So it's one of those things where you can have communication with them. There's a sense of peacefulness and being at ease that he's okay, because this part of it, looking at him on a trip seat and seeing that he is being manipulated in any way, probably triggers you and makes you feel like you're a little bit helpless. And I think that's the part of it is on another dimension, or psychically you're still connected to them, and that you're feeling that they need help.
Right. And I was told anyway, if I was ever somehow came in contact with this individual, he lives such a normal life that he wouldn't even believe any of this super soldier stuff anyway. So I guess in a way, like I'm saying, that they're erasing all of his memories of all this bizarre things. So, and I guess his mother hasn't told him that she's not from around here, which I guess is probably good for him anyway. But yeah, so yeah, that's all I really have about that, and I just wanted to share that, and I really wish we could have a little bit better photo, but that's unfortunately you're gonna have to take my word for it, or Adrian's word for it, that's actually a real trip seat technology. So and not some light or something. It looks like some black thing on his head, a little light, but anyway. All right. Does anybody else would like to make any comments before we move on?
Yeah, we can move.
Well, that's all the questions I had. So unless somebody else wants to jump in on some other topic we might have missed.
I think we are okay. What do you think, Jessica? Are we okay?
I think we're okay. I think that people should continue listening and to be updated. You're not going to hear this stuff on the local news. So to kind of be updated on what's going on the planet regarding the activity and the Fourth Reich.
Yeah, exactly.
And any other activity. Like I said, there's things that are going on underground. It's better to have a sense of knowing what's going on. But there are galactics that are working together to try to alleviate a lot of this, so that we don't have to have any type of bad encounter. But keep listening, I guess. And you're doing a great job, James. And thank you, Peter, too. You guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. So why don't you go ahead, and Jessica, and give us a little background? Not background, but where can people find more about what you do?
I'm on Wolf Spirit Radio weekly on every Monday evening, 4 o'clock till 6 Eastern Standard Time. I do a show called The Answers from the Universe in the Andronicus transmissions, and I channel information from various beings from the past, or that have time traveled, or whatever else has been going on. And so I have a series of that's been going. I have about 90 shows that cover all this information, and then I also have a YouTube channel also for the Andronicus transmissions. And just in general, I'm available on my website is www.readingsbyariel.com.
Thank you, Jessica. Yeah, thank you. And again, okay, so Peter's website is peter-insider.com, and I think there is a Google Translate option because it's in Romanian or Slovak?
Slovak.
Yeah. And how's that going? Are you still? I haven't checked that in a while. Are you still updating that?
Yeah. It is going slow, but we are moving forward.
Right. And you mentioned something about how over in Slovakia, and the Czech Republic as well, that this topic is a lot more popular than it is here in the United States. Is that the case? It's more mainstream.
Yeah. You are right. We've got a very big audience. I'm to be perfectly honest, I'm so very surprised that technically it's only 16 millions of people in total in Czech and Slovak together, to Slovak Republic together, and so many people are interested in this type of information, and this site is so popular. It's weird, and I'm happen that it's weird in this way.
Right. And also, I would like to mention that recently I did a regression with Adrian, and we went to, in this visualization, we went to Area 51, where I saw Peter, really Adrian did, he saw Peter talking to A.R. Borden. And in order to get into the facility, he actually shapeshifted into A.R. Borden, and then when A.R. Borden saw A.R. Borden, he said, "Who are you?" And then Adrian said, "Well, I'm A.R. Borden." He said, "No, I'm A.R. Borden." Anyway, so then he said, "Okay, I'm actually Adrian." And then Peter, you made a huge fuss on all the paperwork you're gonna have to file, and you're gonna have to go in on this and this. So I don't know. Maybe this was like another parallel reality, because apparently A.R. Borden is dead. He was the former director of the entire ACIO division. Is that correct?
Not division, or organization.
And there were a lot of people wondering, because he actually wrote the books on immortality, and he passed. So now it appears that that was actually a clone.
He not passed. He just they just moved one of his clones to fifth dimension. That's a big difference.
Right. So apparently he's going to be coming back pretty soon, is what I've been told. So so Peter, you had, I don't know, can you confirm this, but you were wearing a white shirt with a tie, and you had a goatee.
That's true.
Do you have a goatee and a little bit of balding on top of your head?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we kind of got a little bit better idea what you look like, because you never show your face. So all right. Well, if you ever see any A.R. Bordens, talking to A.R. Bordens, you kind of know what might be going on. But anyway, all right. So again, also folks, check his website out, peter-insider.com, and also visit neologicaltech.com to support the work that I do. And also visit supersoldiertalk.com, where you can find these interviews posted as well. Also, I encourage the listeners to continue drinking the mint tea. I suppose, Peter, do you have any updates on the mint tea? Are people?
I think that it is working perfectly fine, because people are well disciplined.
Right. Some people are emailing me, say, "Well, can I just drink regular tea?" So I think maybe the answer is yes. It all kind of it's all in your attention. Is that the way this works, or it really has to be mint tea?
It should be mint tea.
Right. Okay. So no cheating there, folks. All right. You got to do it. Follow directions. So also, I want to mention, if you would like to get a session with Adrian, even though he's not here to explain anything about any of this, his website is forceversuspower.com, and he's actually doing Skynet readings. Well, not readings. He pulls up the files off of Skynet. Now, Peter, you said that Skynet may not necessarily be accurate because it got hacked. Is that true?
It is not about being. How can I say that? It is not about giving false information itself, but because it was hacked. Yes, you are right.
Yeah. Right. So I apparently they got that problem fixed, but you just never know. So,
Yes.
So always cross collaborate and cross check your sources. And I know, Peter, you're not doing any more sessions anymore, but
yes,
maybe in the future you can bring in an associate that would be willing to work with people. Maybe somebody who's a little bit more patient. Especially with it appears a lot of people that are applying for this list are a little bit unstable. And I know you're very busy, and I'm very busy, and of course Jessica is too, because sometimes she takes the overflow as well. So we can only help so many people. So folks, we just ask you to be patient. We'll try to work a good solution for everybody to get their files. And of course, I like to get my files, more of them anyway, but it seems a lot of them are sealed. That's also an issue too. But anyway, so yeah, I guess we'll just stay tuned. Also, I guess people should probably stockpile some food in anticipation for an EMP. I guess that's probably what the Nazis are going to be doing.
Yeah.
So all the power goes out, then you start seeing Nazis walking down the street. We got a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. And then maybe Semoine will show up with some of her craft, and Link and Clay will have his super soldiers in the wings helping it, maybe.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Well, so I guess that's... Oh, and also, listeners, be sure to write any questions for any of our guests, Jessica included, Peter, myself. We'll love to get back to those in the next show, whatever that might be. So until next time, goodbye. And thank you, Peter and Jessica.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com.